So tonight is going to be kind of a joint meeting. Alicia Webb is on with us for the Dakota County 4-H volunteers that are here with us tonight, and she works over in Yellow Medicine County. And Alicia and I had an opportunity to work together on a cohort project, and we both just talked about how we wanted to communicate out to our club leaders and see what's going good with them, see how maybe we could share some ideas across county lines. We kind of really meshed well at this cohort experience for Minnesota 4-H. And we both just wanted to see how we could better assist club leaders and also kind of just share some of the awesome things that you guys are doing collectively out there, and maybe just share some ideas of how we could just basically share out those ideas in order to make, a stronger program for everyone. So thank you to those of you that hopped on. We hope that this experience goes good, and that maybe sometimes these meetings like this can be a little bit more convenient so that you guys can, get some of the 4-H information just from the comfort of your own home and not have to travel. We know that you guys all are giving up a lot of time already as club leaders, and we know that your schedules are very busy and also very valuable. So we do appreciate that. But basically what we're just going to do really quick is just go around and say who's all on today with the call, and what club you work with, and if you want to share where your club's located, maybe that would be great.
We'll start out by call off your name so that we know we're talking to you, and if we miss you, let us know. So first we'll start with Cara.
I am Cara, and I am from the Chubb Lake Beavers, and we have two leaders, Maria and I, and we are located in rural Lakeville, I would say. We meet once a month at a church, kind of out in the country.
How about Amy?
So my name is Amy. I'm one of the leaders of Top Notchers with Amy, who is the other leader of Top Notchers. We're in Vermilion, which is just southeast of Hastings.
Hi, I'm Amy Cohn. I am a leader of the Top Notchers 4-H Club.
Angela Hansen.
Yeah, hi. My name's Angela Hansen, and I'm one of the leaders of the Appleseeds 4-H Club. And we're really like Rosemont, Apple Valley area. We meet in Apple Valley at one of the churches there. And I have a co-leader, Lori Delbeck, who also works with me. I don't know if she's on tonight or not, but excited to be on the call.
Thank you. And your club is continuing to grow really quickly over there. We've been sending a lot of kids to the Apple Valley Way. And then Jessie DePlaza's on tonight too.
With Empire Rockets, I'm not one of the club. We have 3 club leaders, but they couldn't be on tonight, and I'm just a helper. And we are Farmington area, and we meet once a month at the Extension office.
Wonderful. Thank you to all the Dakota people that are on. And if I missed anyone, I apologize, and feel free to hop on at any time. So recently, Anya and Alicia, we just sent out the questions that we were just going to hopefully kind of highlight tonight in this meeting. And basically what we wanted to do is just kind of get a feel of how your clubs are going, what maybe some of those struggles are, and how we can better serve you. So, and we can just do kind of a popcorn around. So if you have something to share about the questions that were sent out, I'm just going to kind of read them off, and then we can just kind of share what's going well and how we can be of better service, or how, Yellow Medicine County could share some of the ideas that are going well for them too. So the first question was, what have you found to be helpful in your own club to keep your business meetings productive and moving along?
I will go first.
All right. Thanks, Cara.
We have a short and concise meeting. It lasts about 15 minutes, and it's at the beginning when we first gather, and we get through all the business, and then we lately have been doing an activity which is 45 minutes to an hour long, and we highlight usually 2 projects that kids can be in 4-H, and it could be anything. Like 2 times ago, we did a photography one in the dark with a camera that was set at a really high speed, and the kids moved laser lights, and they took pictures, and it would make a picture. And then the other group went over and did a cooking, like how to measure and make something, but it was kind of like those rooms where you're locked in and you have to figure out the code to get out. And So they had to figure out the code by using different recipes and stuff. And then last month we did a smoothie bar, learning how to cook, and the dairy was involved with that. And this month we're going to highlight sheep and the goat project. If they hurry through their meeting, they have longer time to do the activity. And then we cut
they
it
got
off
that
like at
incentive.
8 or 8:15 because we meet at 7, so that they're out of there in a timely manner because there's a lot of young ones to get them home and in bed.
And I know you guys also do, and I don't mean to, share all your good ideas,
Oh,
but
no.
you guys do some fun stuff, but you guys do the Chub Lake Beaver Bucks, too, for your kids?
Oh, yeah. So if they make a motion or they second the motion or they're helpful with passing out, like, an information sheet or something, whatever they're doing to participate in the meeting without being asked, they get a little beaver buck. And then at the end of the year, we have kind of a carnival where they can use those to play different games, which are all project related, like a photo booth or different things like that that are more projects that you can be in.
That's super fun, which also I think really makes meetings run efficiently because there's a little bit of a push or incentive in order to keep kids engaged and interacting. So.
And on the table, we have the laminated sheets that have the pledge and the Pledge of Allegiance, the 4-H pledge, and then how to make a motion. So it tells you how to say it and put your name in there and why you're making the motion or what's it for, and so they can just kind of use that as a guide.
Does the Amy's want to share about Top Notchers?
I think actually we struggle a little bit with this. I think sometimes we have topics that end up getting debated over and over and over. And so we've kind of gotten away from trying to set a lot of dates or making a lot of decisions necessarily in the meeting, because that tends to be a more parent-driven conversation. So we've used SurveyMonkey quite a bit, where we're sending out, these are the dates we're looking at, send in your votes for which ones that work, and then by the time we get to the meeting, it's this is the date that everybody picked, so now let's just plan the event. And we've also gotten adult leaders really involved with each activity that we're doing, whether it's social or service. There's an adult leader attached to it that's kind of responsible for the planning or the organization. So a lot of that comes to the meeting already done, so we don't have to hash out every single detail and debate every single detail.
Yeah, we'd have 10-minute discussions on the date before, and I'm it wasn't productive for us. It was just always we go in circles. It's this is silly. And then, people that aren't at the meeting then get a say in what they want for dates, because they might not have made the meeting. But this way, if they miss the meeting, we send it usually right after the meeting, and then they can have their say in it because they might be able to make the next activity then.
You would agree, it keeps the kids more involved, because when the parents were having these big, broad discussions about dates, or exactly how many dollars we should spend on something, the kids completely checked out, and it was a parent meeting.
Parents sit in the back. We have the kids sit in the front, so they're more focused on the meeting and everything. And what was happening is we were talking over the top of the kids, and it was just going back and forth over the top of the kids, and the kids are we don't care what the date is. They don't know their schedule. They don't know their calendar. So
how about Jesse? Can you share a little bit about what the Empire Rockets Club is doing and what you've found successful with your club business meetings?
Because you're a large club that has, a lot of parents and guardians and kids in the room, so I can imagine that these can be pretty active.
So we're different because we're so huge. We're so big that we have a half-hour business meeting, or ends up to be a little bit longer. But the kids decide in the fall what activities are in the spring for the next fall, what activities they want to do. And then the parents are informed that, the 3 leaders don't have the ability to do all of that and plan those activities. So we have the parents sign up for if they want to be hosts at a meeting, if they want to lead an activity, if they want to plan an activity, because the kids have already voted what they want to do. And then whatever parent is in charge researches, comes back to a meeting, presents information, usually 1 or 2 dates, and then we're just so large. And at that point, then it's usually up to who's ever planning it kind of gets the final decision on the date, because there is never going to be a date that works for everybody. And it kind of is the incentive. If your kid is really passionate about doing this one thing and wants to do it, you can kind of make it work with your schedule a little bit more if you're the one planning it. And all of our activities have oodles of people there just because we have so many. And that's just kind of what we have to do because of our size.
Jesse, how many, can you remind us again, you may have said this at the beginning, how many members do you have currently? Do you know that?
A lot.
I think you're in the 70s range, aren't you?
Yeah, I think we're in like 70 families maybe.
Yeah.
I think.
Wow.
So that's why we have the 3 main club. We have 3 contact leaders. One deals with most of the finance stuff. One deals with the communication and the meeting outline. So she'll send a update of like, here's what's on the agenda and what's going to be covered at the meeting. And then she sends notes afterwards to everybody, like, this is what we got done. And then the other one fields project questions and like, oh, you need a contact in this? Let me find someone. Oh, you need help with this? Let me connect you. And does a lot of networking to get the families, especially new families or new to different project areas, hooked up with somebody who can help mentor them. And then I just fill in of other duties as assigned of what they need help with.
That's a good way to deviate out the responsibilities to club leaders too. And then, hopefully, then everybody's like all the new members coming in, some of their like needs and questions.
Right, and it doesn't, because it's intimidating to walk into a room with massive amount of people and then ask questions to, if there was one person in charge, it'd be like, oh, I don't want to bother them with my questions. But here, when there's 3 different people divvying things up, it seems to be a little bit more, people are open to asking things and looking for information. So it seems to work for us, but just because there's so many coming and going.
Right. Angela, you want to go first?
Sure. A couple things, and it's really good to get all these ideas because we're always looking for ways to improve. One thing that we do is we do in the fall after the fair, like our first big business meeting in the fall. That's when we elect the leaders and stuff like that. But one thing we also do is we let the kids we pretty much set our yearly calendar at that meeting. Like we have a very set meeting schedule, and what we do is we basically just give the kids an opportunity to say like what activities, because I would say half of our meetings have a business meeting attached with them that maybe goes 20 minutes max. The rest of them are project planning or doing community service activities, so it's not always a business meeting at every event. When we do the event planning in the fall, we also assign a family to each of those months. So if it's an event to have a demonstration, there's a family that takes that on, and then they organize it, and we notify everybody by email of anything specific, but they already know the date unless something changes because of planning, but pretty rarely we change the date. It's pretty well set. And then every meeting that we do have, we have an agenda that has the pledge right on it. We hand that out. It pretty much lays out our business meeting, but ultimately, like if there is an event that there's money that we need to do, the people who are organizing that event, they already have done a lot of that detail work, and they just bring it forward to the club to vote on. And then we do try to, as our club has gotten a little bit more mature with some older kids, we're trying to make them be more responsible for some of the other things, like telling the kids about the projects and what different things that they can do. So I guess to summarize, we do a lot of community service, but when we do have a meeting, it's pretty concise. One other thing I would mention is that we do rotate out the leaders too. So like every 2 years we try to bring in a new leader. And this year, next year, I'll be the primary contact. Lori was during the last couple of years. So by getting the people involved, it kind of gets them interested in taking on that responsibility when some of us take a back seat.
Awesome. Thank you. And this is where we get to talk about the fun things that we're doing. So business is like the part of the meeting that we know that the kids get antsy in their seats, but then it goes into the fun stuff that we get to do with the kids, and the business is the stuff that, you know, has to get us to that point where we can do this. But what is something that you have done for educational activities or recreation that your club members, you know, really enjoy? And Kara, you mentioned like the project opportunities within the club that you're doing right at your club meetings and the carnival and stuff like that, but we'll just kind of go back and circle back to Kara. Do you have anything else to share that's going really well, like for recreation that you're doing at your club meetings?
So the first meeting that we had it'll be the second one this fall, we went to the Hasse Arena, which is in Lakeville, and it's an ice skating rink, and we actually won the pizza party from the county for getting all our registrations in first. And so we had pizza with our meeting, and other people brought fruit and drinks and that kind of stuff. And then our club paid for the kids to go ice skating, and I think we had about 50 kids out there skating at all different levels of skating abilities. And I think you usually have open skate for an hour and a half, and they stayed the whole entire time. So that was fun, and they got to meet all kinds of new friends out on the ice. But, yeah.
Amy, do you guys want to share anything about some of the, like, recreational type stuff that you guys do?
Well, our biggest event that we get the most people, and I don't know if it's the time of year that we do it or if it's just the activity itself, but our bowling meeting is always our biggest meeting. You know, we usually get almost every single family to that one meeting a year. If they make one meeting, that's going to be the meeting they go to. And now we just, you know, we go to Farmington Lane, so we actually meet at the extension office now, which has made it really, really nice. And it's, you know, we do pizza with it and stuff, and it's probably the activity that the kids look forward to the most. But we do like Feed My Starving Children. We've done snow tubing. We pack, as one of our service projects, we started doing, Hastings United Way does Food for Kids, which is packing a gallon-sized bag full of meals for the weekend for kids. So if their parents work during the weekend and they're responsible for feeding themselves, it's things that they can make on their own. So it's got breakfasts and lunches in there for them to have over the weekend and stuff. So we've gone in and packed those and stuff, and the kids just have fun because it's just something fun, fast, easy. They know that somebody in their school, you know, may be getting them, and they've now expanded out to all the schools, middle school, high school, and then the elementary school. So they're always packing every week. So it's something really fun, and that we've been able to financially give back to our community too.
You guys had somebody give a fantastic report at the Federation meeting for your club just the other night. So it was great to hear all that stuff and to share it at that meeting too. She talked about that project. That project's super cool.
Yep.
Angela, what about you guys over in Appleseeds? You guys are getting to be a lot bigger, so you guys, and the kids are starting to get a little bit older. So what are some things that your club is doing?
Well, one of the things I was going to talk about and we do a lot of the same things. We've done snow tubing. We've actually done the bowling at Farmington Lanes, which was fun. We do a lot of, like, Feed My Starving Children, Angel Tree, different things like that. But one of the things that we've done, and it's kind of like an annual thing that the kids really enjoy, is we actually have Camp Sacagawea, which is it's Dakota County-owned part of the Lebanon Park System. And it's kind of like a big cabin in the woods. And we rent that in April for a Sunday afternoon, and we do a lot of, like, we'll do a game, we have food, and then we do a community service activity, like we've packed the sandwiches and did different things with that. But we usually plan some kind of outdoor activity with them. So like last year we had the Raptor Center come, and they got to dissect owl pellets, which some of them thought was pretty cool, some of them thought was pretty gross. But you know, all the kids look forward to that activity. And but a couple of the other things that we've done that is kind of interesting and that a lot of the organizations are really open to doing is we did take the whole 4-H club on a tour of the Twin Stadium.
Cool.
And yeah, they love that. And then we had somebody set up indoor rock climbing. That was something interesting and different that most kids had never tried. Ice fishing, we did that this year, which we had a group or a family in our club that's really passionate about ice fishing, and they opened it up. We were all a little nervous because, you know, hooks and kids and ice, you know. but you know what? It was kind of the hit of the winter, to be honest. So that was a little bit surprising because it was cold. But other than that, I mean, we kind of do we do a community flower planting every year for a spring project along with a park cleanup. So that's another annual thing that we do every year.
Well, we'll keep this kind of rolling for you guys because we don't want it to be too long because we want to be respectful of your time. But next question that we had was, what struggles do you have around leading clubs? I mean, we know that this is kind of, you know, a task that is not always the easiest, and it can kind of be hard communicating it with that many parents. So if anybody wants to hop in and go first, go right ahead.
Well, I know if anybody has any thoughts too on, you know, any things that you've tried that have worked well, but I know a lot of my club leaders, they can sometimes have issues with having parents attend club meetings and get involved and help, you know, so a lot of times a lot of the tasks fall on the club leader, and I think some of them are feeling a little overwhelmed by that. So I know that's one issue in some of my clubs in my county.
Mm-hmm.
We have that too at sometimes it's just a drop off, like confirmation or Sunday school, where they dump them for the hour and then come back. But then you also, the other side of it is you don't have them button in the meeting because they're not there.
Mm-hmm.
But then
yes, that's a good point.
But then they also don't have the correct information for the kids in the upcoming event. So it's and then we just send out another email, but it's kind of a catch-22.
Yeah, and that can get kind of tricky, Cara, because, I mean, if they're dropping them off and then maybe not showing up at the right times and, you know, then you're responsible, and I can see how that can be hard. So, I mean, I hope that I hope the parents become involved or their guardians so that, you know, we can get them engaged in the program too, so.
So we try to keep them, if we're rotating activities in a couple different areas, we try to have them go with the group instead of just sitting there while the kids are doing their activity. We try to have them kind of shepherd, I guess.
Yeah.
Split in half and then shepherd. And we count them off 1, 2, 1, 2 with all the kids, so they're kind of just obligated.
Yeah.
But then they get to know more parents too, and the kids' names and what we are doing.
Yeah,
so
that's good.
We're trying to be a step ahead of them.
Yes. Good.
Yeah.
Amy and Amy, do you guys, what are some, I mean, we talked a little bit about, you know, some of the struggles with the club, and you guys seem like you've kind of, like, taken action on the one in regards to, like, making decisions and, you know, sending that out in advance. Have you guys experienced anything else within the club?
I think we struggle financially, not the fact that we don't have money. We have a lot of money that we just are trying to find ways to benefit the kids and the community and, you know, different, you know, service projects, but also just trying to just use it while those kids that have raised this money are still in the club. And that's what we really have struggled with. So if anybody's got any good ideas to help us spend, it sounds crazy, but that we can spend money and sometimes, you know, we've tried to donate more to, like, the food shelf, and they're like, oh, that's a lot of money. I'm like, we have so much. What holding on to it for.
Mhm.
So we're just trying to find a way of, what can we do? That's, and I love, Kara, you have a lot of great ideas, so I'm going to probably pick your brain after this. But just trying to find ways to pour it into some of the projects maybe the kids
Yeah.
into, but I'm just not sure how. I've been trying to, thinking, do we donate it to a county project, some money to a county project that a bunch of our kids are in? How we bring in speakers, or what kind of activity that can we spend some money on to help nurture our kids and use it on them, but.
No, that's good, Amy. No, and I totally get where you're coming from, because those kids work hard because they do fundraisers and they're active in the club, and you want to make sure that you're using the money for the membership that's there, because, we really don't need to have that much of a rollover from year to year. So I hope that you can connect with Kara, and kind of pick her brain a little bit, because maybe even something like how they do the club bucks, but it could be like actual money they save up to go to camp, or something like that.
A scholarship type thing for a couple kids. They could maybe write out a little application for it or something. Do you guys do?
We give money for camp and state fair already. And we started. Do you pay for? I'm wondering how many clubs pay for their kids' dues, or we did like $5 worth, but I'm like, if we need to throw more money that way. So I heard some clubs money towards the malt stand. I thought that was that they give them a free malt. I thought that was kind of cool.
We do have some clubs that do that, and the club that my kiddos are in, they do like your first year membership, they scholarship that, or I think they transition to doing paying half of their membership. But that's nice for a family that's coming in brand new. Clubs can support them in that way. But we can check that, and I'm going to actually put that down as maybe in a meeting that we have coming up, just so we don't get too lengthy on this one, but talking about finances maybe at another meeting, and how to work with budgets, and how to spend our money on the kids and stuff. So, but I do hope it's great that you guys are connecting to even hear about some of these ideas. So, anyone else? Struggle?
This is Angela. So I kind of have the opposite problem. Where we seem to find ways to spend the money on the kids, and so one of the questions I was going to ask the other leaders is, and I know I've picked up some of your brains at Federation meeting, but we have to date not done a club due. Do all of your clubs have club dues, not just county dues?
My club pays $10 a family because our club has a lot of money. So they backed that down probably 3 years ago, so we wouldn't keep getting so much money in our savings account. So that's all we do.
Yeah, and Amy, do you guys have dues again on the club level?
No, we don't. They
just
pay their
fundraiser.
They pay their county dues, and we pay $5 of their county dues if they get their county dues in by, whatever the deadline. I don't remember. Was it October 31st or something? If they
do the incentive,
then we kicked in that extra $5. So
we were having a lot of families wait, and the treasurers were really struggling. So we did that starting 2 years ago, and it really helped.
Yeah, and we have a lot of clubs that are doing both. There's a handful of clubs that are having their own club dues, and then a handful that are not. But I just want to make sure that you guys all know that if there are ever members in your clubs that need hardship scholarships to pay dues, please just, send us a message.
Or Alicia.
Yeah, and we have money in the 4-H Federation to scholarship kids into the program. So we just want to make sure that you guys were well aware of that, so that,
Alicia, do you have that same philosophy, just in case there's some people listening to the recording? eventually?
Yeah, we don't have county or club dues, but we do offer those same reimbursements to families for camp or anything like, any of the project days we have. If there's ever, I always put on all of our information that if you need financial, support, give me a call, and yeah, we always do that for whatever we're doing.
Yep. Great.
So this is Angela again. One quick question on that. So just real quick, what are some, like Cara and Amy, what are you guys doing for fundraisers? Because we do one fundraiser a year, and we do Pizza Ranch.
For Top Notchers, we do a wreath fundraiser, and we've been doing the wreath fundraiser since I was in 4-H. So it is our long-standing tradition for our club to sell wreaths. That's the only fundraiser we do. We do really well. We have old 4-Hers that still even order, get orders for us and stuff. So, and local businesses that buy from us. So it really is a good fundraiser for us. We do it through Evergreen Industries up in Evergrove Heights, so it's close for us, and it's been just a really easy fundraiser for us.
Yeah, that's a good one. That is a good one, Amy. And I feel like once you start getting, that list of customers, people are expecting those happy go-getters, or not happy go-getters, I'm sorry, Top Notchers, happy go-getters, those big fundraiser. But they're expecting those Top Notchers kids to show up at their door with that wreath sales sheet. So yeah, that is a good one, Angela. You guys are going to be competing with probably the same audience over in Apple Valley. So Cara, do you guys do one?
We don't do fundraisers. Are we supposed to?
You do not have to do them. I think your account is doing fairly well. So
yeah, we've never done them.
Yeah, and that's the thing. So we do have clubs. We have clubs that do a fundraiser, and we have some that don't do them at all. So it really depends on the club. So we're going to kind of probably wrap it up, and we'll save some of these for another time, but this was I found this to be super fun and engaging because you guys have some great ideas, and I hope that you guys were able to network amongst yourselves, and the people that are going to be listening to the recording, I hope can, get some good ideas and can hop on with us on the next call. And what I would like is we are going to be sending out a survey, and if you could include in that survey anything else you want to maybe highlight on these, hangouts, and let us know how it went and how we can, help service you guys better as club leaders.
And I think it's always, I think it's kind of a fun idea now also to incorporate other counties so that our counties can learn from each other and get ideas because they are completely different. And so it really gives some great insight to what other 4-H programs are doing.
Yeah, I've gotten a lot of great ideas just from listening to you guys. So yeah, I'm going to send the recording to my club leaders, and I'm hopeful they'll jump on our next one.
Awesome. Well, thank you again, everybody, for hopping on and taking a chunk out of your night. Like we said, we know you guys are so busy, and we appreciate all that you guys are doing out there with the kids in the program. And we're going to continue out of the Dakota office to send out the emails and the short little video clips about upcoming opportunities and stuff. And tomorrow we'll send out a survey to you guys. And like I said, in the comment section of that, include anything else that you guys really want to maybe highlight on an upcoming meeting, because it may be one thing, for Anya and I and Alicia to share with you guys some of that, but I feel like you guys have so much knowledge, and if we can put it into one of these calls, we're able to just share so much more. So thanks again, you guys. And happy first day of spring!
Thank you.
Yay. Thank you. Thank you
Have
so much.
night.
Thanks, guys.
All right,
have a good
bye,
night.
everybody.